$3.76 for a 4-pound bag of pinto beans. I'm going to pick one of these up because I cannot get this good of a deal in Kansas. 5 pounds of rice for $3.34, making that 66.8 cents a pound. $7.98 for 10 pounds of rice. So the 5-pound bag is actually a better deal. They like to fool us sometimes, and we just think the bigger one is the better deal, but we have to do the math. And you may say there is a unit price on the tag in front, and there is, but it's by ounces. That doesn't help me much because I go by price points that I usually remember on my own, and those price points are by the pound, not by the ounce. So when I'm going to Dollar Tree and I see there's 12 ounces for $1.25, that's going to stick in my head better than whatever microscopic amount that ounce is. And they do that to kind of throw us off because that's really not helpful information. We have to do the math. Plus, if you are like me and I already wear glasses, I have a hard time reading those little tiny amounts that are on those unit price stickers. These were so tiny that I bent over and I still couldn't read them with my glasses, other than I could tell they were by the ounce. Hi, I'm Bonita and I am early retired. I'm not old enough yet for Social Security. I'm living on a low income and I am living off of savings. And right now I'm spending the winter in my RV in the Rio Grande Valley in South Texas. I normally live in Kansas. I have frugal videos all year round, and I hope that you will join me this year in 2025 as we share ways to save money and live our dreams. Down here they have places that are called ropas, and ropa is just Spanish for clothes, and it's kind of like a type of thrift market, but it's nothing like you've ever seen. When you go in, there are just piles of shoes, piles of clothes, and you have to dig through them. I wanted to see what one was like because I had seen pictures. So I found one that was close by and I stopped in. Half of the room was filled with people who were just sorting clothes. They were picking up each piece, looking it over carefully, and then stacking it on barrels. And on the other side was just piles of clothes that you had to dig through. I didn't really feel comfortable digging through them. I'm not much of a thrifter, but there were a lot of people in there that were working there. And again, it was kind of like that garage sale pressure. I kind of felt like once I went in just to see what it looked like, that I kind of needed to do the courtesy of looking at stuff. And you wouldn't believe the cute things I found. They sell the clothes there a pound for $1. I picked out a really cute dress and a really cute shirt for $1. And then they put it in a new Walmart bag that still had the tag on it. So I would call that a deal. Then I decided to take a little road trip not too far away and go to the El Disco Super Center that is on the USA side. There's also one on the Mexico side. I showed that in one of my other videos where I picked up spices and some other items. But this one has a lot of pottery, and the prices are spectacular, and everything is homemade. And they even have homemade tables and chairs and benches and wooden bars and beds and dressers. It was gorgeous, but I ended up picking up a really large painted pot for outdoors at home for only $16. But I just have to show you some of this hand painted, handmade items. They are so beautiful. And they even had hand painted toilets and the base and the bowl that all went together. They were very expensive, but I can just imagine how gorgeous all of this would look if you had one of those Adobe homes and you could fix it up with all of this wonderful handiwork. It was fun just to walk around and look at things. I did pick up a couple of gifts for Christmas this next year for a couple of my grandchildren, but I sure could appreciate the talent that goes into some of these items. As you can see, that wonderfully handcrafted bench was only $99.99. It made me wish I had more room in my car to bring back some other items. At $16 a pot, I thought I could bring one back every single year and use that for some of my potted gardening that I do out in the yard, and it would look beautiful and it would be so affordable and make my yard even more relaxing. On the way there, I took Old Military Road, and it has a lot of history to it, and there are places that the road is not in very good condition. But it ran between forts in the Rio Grande Valley, and troops would go back and forth to carry telegraph messages. I even saw the turnoff to Rio Bravo, which made me feel like I was in an old John Wayne movie. There was also the foreign trade posts that I got to drive by, and there was one for produce. And I always enjoy and find so interesting how some of the homes have gates and fences and bars on the windows, and other ones don't. I had one credit left at the 55 and over women's swap shop here at the park. And so, since it was 2 for 1 that one week, I ended up with one credit left over. So, I used my one credit to get this t shirt. Now, it has that fabric that is just so soft, it feels like pajamas. I have really fallen in love with that fabric since I retired. But this is what I ended up with for my last credit. Retirement's about comfort and being relaxed. And if I can find something cute that feels so comfortable, you bet that is going to be my first choice. I'm still going to be working this summer on decluttering some of my dress up clothes because after having a career and always wearing dress up clothes, I had very little of things like this that I could just wear at home. And I'm slowly replacing a lot of those dress up clothes with more comfortable clothes and still keeping some that I can wear when I do need to dress up occasionally. But I have now restocked my little cabinet that I'm bringing home full of things that I can wear this summer that I didn't have to pay for. Other than going to that Ropa and spending $1, all of my new clothes have just been swapped out this summer, and I have clothes that I can wear at home, relaxing in the yard, doing my gardening or just doing house chores. And I can still wear these comfortable things to my grandchild's baseball games. So it works out beautifully for me not having to restock my comfortable clothes. Just between last year when I was down here and this year when I was down here, I can already tell that I am spending money way differently this second year of retirement. The first year of retirement, I was still focused on trying to stock up, trying to save money where I could. I think I still had a little bit of unsurety, even though I had calculated and I knew I would be fine. This second year, I am just sitting back and reaping the rewards of all of the things that I have saved for. I don't need food like I thought I did. I have been living off the food that I brought here mostly the whole time I've been here. I've spent very little on food and I still have quite a bit left, and I'm going home in just a few weeks. So that's played out really well. I haven't purchased a bunch of clothes this year. Last year, I needed more shorts and things that I couldn't get at the swap shop because they didn't have things that I liked or that was comfortable or that fit. And I picked up a few inexpensive things at some of the inexpensive shops down here. But this year I didn't need a bunch of those things that I purchased last year. And this year I'm finding that I can live long periods of time and still do really fun stuff and spend even less than I did last year. That has been a real eye opener to me this winter here in the Rio Grande. I have not had to spend hardly any money, and yet I've still had the time of my life. I'm coming home with new clothes. I'm coming home with money in my pocket, and I'm hoping that I'm coming home with a tan. So in this video, I wanted to show you some ways that I am a thrifter. And I wouldn't really say that I am, but when I can find a good deal on things like that big pot or like those rope of clothes, yeah, I'll pick them up. But I usually don't seek things out like that. I'm not a real big thrift store shopper. I'm not a garage sale shopper. And many people find that weird when I'm frugal. But I love to be thrifty, like finding that food in the store and calculating what is the best deal and bringing home some deals that are not ones I can find where I live in Kansas. I've kept my eye out when I've been out and about this season down here, looking for items that are a better price than they are at home. We are already really stocked well at home. I may have to take a new inventory and kind of see what my husband has gone through, but we are well stocked. And so last year I came home with a trunk full of food that I had bought while I was down here to add to my stock. And some of that was because there was no tax on food here in Texas. Well, as of January 1st, 2025, now there's no tax on food in Kansas. But that doesn't mean I can't find some better deals like that beans and rice down here in this area for a better price than I can find at home. We have very limited shopping in the area where I live in Kansas. It's hard to buy a lot of things in bulk, and I am unable to find some of the deals that I do see down here. So if I see a few like that, I'm going to pick them up. So last year I brought home that trunk of food. This year I've got some large cans of like diced tomatoes that I bought from Ollie's discount store that I showed you in my prior videos, some beans, some rice, and that's pretty much it. So this year I just haven't bought even the food that I bought last year to bring home. Now, I like to think of myself as thrifty. I like to look for a good deal. But as far as being a thrifter and seeking out and getting up early on Saturdays to go look for those deals, that's just not me. Let me know, are you a thrifty person, a thrifter person, or do you see a difference? And are you one of those people that will seek out those thrifter finds so you can maybe even flip them? That was one of the things I thought about when I went to the ROPA. I wasn't really wanting to bring something home and then it not fit. And at the swap shop, I can try things on. At the ROPA, I really didn't even want to think about trying something on because they were just in heaps on the floor. Now, there was no odor at all. In fact, some of the stuff I brought back smelled like it had been freshly laundered with some of those little smelly salts that smell so good, but I'm still going to wash them again because it just had a weird feeling of stuff being heaped everywhere. I'm not going to just put that on. And I thought, well, if these two items don't fit, I'll just flip them. But they both fit, and I'm so glad they did because they were great finds. Let me know your thoughts. I look forward to reading them. Thank you for watching today, and I hope that this has been entertaining for you. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time.